Thank you for waiting. Good. So you worked on this piece about a month or a little more? Yeah, good. Okay. Are there any things in the piece that you are worried about? Anything that you want us to work on together? Okay. The end is more difficult than the beginning. Yes. Well, what do you think is the problem? I think your question is a good one, but it's complicated to answer because there are many issues for how to practice that we all have to deal with, and that relates, I think, to this. Are people understanding? Can you hear? Okay. Do we need translation, or are we okay?
ไม่ต้องเด็กสาวที่เก่งอยู่แล้วนะโอเคใช่ไหมเก่งจ้าเดี๋ยวโอเค
All right, cool. So what do you think is the problem? Where is it the most difficult? The pedal. Why is it so? Right. I think we might explore some ways of practicing because there are very big jumps on the left hand. That's difficult. If we're going to run and take a jump, we need to know, first of all, how we take off, and we need to know where we're going to land. So a good way to practice jumps is to touch the first note without playing, and then practice moving to the next note. You don't need to know all things, just this one. So just touch it. Okay. Just touch it. And then when you are ready, play that. Touch this, just touch it. And then when you're ready, jump to the end. Yeah. That's it. Yes. Why is that? Why might that be a useful thing to do? Because the worry is how to play accurately, how to get from place to place quickly enough. But she didn't play anything fast. What does that mean? It's hard for me to hear because of the noise. So, I like the hair, but it's hard to hear. I think the reason that that way of practicing might be useful is that there is no such thing in all of piano music as a difficult note. If you think about that, either I'm being very, very foolish to say such a thing, or there is a hidden meaning. And of course, the hidden meaning is, well, anybody off the street can play any note in this piece. Push this one down, okay. Down. So why do we have to practice when we play? The reason is the connections are difficult. How to find the next note. If you're going to jump, you also have to know where you're going to land. So the feeling of knowing the movement rather than the notes themselves, that's what we really need to practice. because when you put several notes together in time, there are many, many, many problems in piano literature. And any of the notes, anything, anybody can do it. So don't waste time practicing the notes, practice the connections. And that makes all the difference. That can be life-changing. It's so good. So what we did was practice the connections. You want to try it again? Just the connections. Okay. Except you were here. Don't play it. Just touch it. And then when you're ready to move, practice the movements. That's it. But did you know where you're going? So go back here. You see, it's very easy to play the right note, but you missed it because you weren't sure of the connection, the distance. Try again. Except what we want to practice is the movement quickly. Just be there. If I do, I played the right note, yes, but it's terrible practice. It doesn't do any good. You need to practice the quick motion of finding where you need to go. Yes, yes, good. Okay, good. You got the idea. Now, let's put the hands together, but I want you to do the same idea, but basically one note at a time. So in the right hand, you play. Notice that I'm not just playing slowly. The movement from place to place is very quick. And I want to be sure I know where to go before I make a movement. But I'm playing in terms of the sound, in terms of the notes, very slowly. So I'm trying to practice what really matters, which is the connection. Are you following my language? Is it okay? Or do we need translation? We okay? Great, thank you. So please try. I just made a mistake. I didn't play any wrong notes, but I wasn't really sure where to go. That was good. But in terms of actual sound, it doesn't make any difference. So you're not practicing the notes, you practice the connection. This is a little hard to catch at first. What you were doing is playing slowly, but it was different from what I did. May I show you again? Don't play. Just, I'm ready. Now, I have to find the next note. I had to make a correction. What I want to do is... See the difference? It didn't do this, because I knew where it was. Another element is that in the right hand, you can find your way by feel. You don't have to look. I didn't look at it. The reason is the lowest note in the first chord is the middle note of the next chord. So I can move back and forth. That's important because in the left hand, very big distance to cover. So if you have to do that in the left hand, and you have to look at the right hand, good luck finding the left hand. Make sense? When I'm touching the second note, I didn't play it until I want to move to the next note. At first it feels completely backwards. When we get to the note, we want to play it. But we're actually just practicing the connection. The note will take care of itself. Please try again. You deliberately play just one note. Okay. If you do that a while, I think it will help you. Because the problem is not playing the notes, the problem is knowing where they are, knowing how to find them. And this way of practice forces you to do that. Now I'd like you to try, please, making a stop on every quarter note, every crotchet. Jump, ba ba ba. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, ba, ba. Okay. You were doing what I asked, but I think you can be more comfortable if you let yourself accept that when you arrive at the note you want to stop on, what can go wrong? You're sitting on it. You're not going to miss anything. Everything's okay. It's hard work to be relaxed. Very good. What do you notice about how it feels? More comfortable, more relaxed, okay? And related to that is, I think, one, you did what I asked, which is to be comfortable when you get to the place. But I think also because you're more sure of what notes you're going to play. How does that happen? Why does the way we just practiced make it easier to know the notes? Somebody answer. Everybody listens politely, nice smile, and no answers, right? Okay. It's easier to know where the next notes are because we are doing very short units. It's easy to understand just a couple of notes. Really understand clearly. If we play this whole line of music, there's a lot of information. It's too much to remember clearly. And I think huge factor in effective piano practice is to be clear, to know really exactly what is going to come next. Then we have a good chance of playing well. If we know approximately, we are just depending on the physical memory. And that's the first thing that goes away when we're scared. That depending too much on physical memory is responsible, I think, for maybe 95% of memory slips. But it went beautifully at home, right? We know the piece, we think we know the piece, and then there are all those people sitting out there, and suddenly, I've never seen these hands before, and I've never heard this piece, and it's scary. Well, that means depending too much on how it feels at home when we're relaxed. But it's not going to feel like that. So we have to protect ourselves by practicing being really clear. And the way I asked you to practice completely changes the physical memory. Because I asked her to play the same notes, but make a stop every, do you say quarter note or crotchet? Which one? Crotchet? Quarter note. Okay, good. That's what I'm used to also. I just came from Malaysia, and there they say crotchet. So I'll say quarter note. We'll both agree. By stopping every quarter note, it completely changes how it feels. But that's scary at first, but it's a good thing because it lets us know, it forces us to know how to go on. So you're practicing what is actually difficult in order that it can be really clear before you move forward. Does that make sense? Because what we're trying to do is to, number one, be clear what to do next, and number two, build confidence, because we know it's easy, right? And we're scared to do that, even though this is that very difficult last line that you told me you were the most worried about, and suddenly it's not hard. Something new, please do the same thing from memory. You want to try it? No, same practice, but without looking at the score. Good job. Are you surprised? How did that happen? Remember, this is the most difficult part of the piece. She asked, she said, I need help with this. And you just played it from memory. Look at the smile. That says nice things. It says you're more confident than you were. And that's good. We'll do it again. Yeah, but what if I make a mistake this time? Okay. Very good. It's really getting easy, isn't it? Yeah. You want to go a little faster. Does that sound like a difficult part of the piece? Or does it sound like an easy part? Congratulations. So, what have we accomplished? I'm getting a signal that we're going to have to stop because of time. But what will you remember from today? The scary guy with all the questions. Practice well using. Okay, it's hard to find the words, but a lot of what we need to do has to do with identifying what the real problem is. That's never the notes. Any dummy can play the notes. But to make the connections, that's what's challenging, that's what's interesting. And also, that's what's beautiful. If you think about a melody line, what makes it feel so good inside is the distance from the note, one note to the next. It's the getting there that makes it wonderful. It's not just the notes. And also, we looked for ways to simplify this passage so that it was really, really easy the first time, almost insultingly easy. But that's a good thing, because if you're really clear with an easy task, and then you add a little bit at a time, and each time you find a way for the slightly expanded task to be easy, very soon you can do the original version. So we started just kind of one note at a time and not even moving, just practicing doing that. And we got from there to, she was playing the original version up to tempo from memory. And was a little surprised that she could do it easily and from memory. So thank you very much.